So here we have a male skeletal muscular system, and I've selected this because I am male, and this is a representation of the muscles I will be warming up before I do my bench session. So we start with the front here. So we got the pectoral major, and we'll remove each section as we go so you can see the muscles individually. And then just underneath the pectoral major we have there the pectoralis minor, and then moving round onto the shoulder area, which is the deltoid, which we'll remove, and we'll show these larger muscles running down from the back of the cranium there down towards the rectus spinae, the white area at the bottom here. So here we have the trapezius, so we'll just take them away, which have the rhomboids, majors and minors sat directly underneath, and the latissimus dorsi, which is the largest muscle in the body there. We'll remove that, and we can see the smaller muscles there. So we got the infraspinatus, which sits on the scapula, which we'll remove. So we have the scapula there showing, and then we got the muscles, smaller muscles in the top, so the supraspinatus. Now these are the muscles here that we want to warm up, and also not to mention triceps and biceps. I hope you found that relatively informative with regards to the muscle groups. So I'm going to get straight to it. As you can see, I've selected a red band here to do warm-ups that I feel are sufficient for my bench press session. Now this is not a one-size-fits-all, but generically these will work for most. So just doing some band pull-aparts horizontally and then vertically and angular, just there to warm up my rear delts, the trapezius there and the rhomboids. So that will get those fired up and feeling nice and toasty. So I normally do somewhere between 15 to 20 reps on each side, and I find that's more than sufficient for the first set. And then I'll move on to the next. I'll do a round of exercises really that last somewhere between 4 to 5 minutes, and then I'll rest for about a minute and maybe repeat before I get under an empty barbell. Quite often athletes or gym goers will get under an empty barbell straight away and start warming up with no weight on the bar, which is, okay. You want to start from an empty bar, but they fail to sort of focus on these smaller intricate muscles that all work towards stabilizing the back position, the shoulder and chest. So I find it very important, especially as you get older, really, to look after the joints a little bit. So just running through the motions of doing some internal and external rotations there while keeping my elbow tucked nicely into my side, just to prevent excessive movement of the arm. I want to focus the movement very much on my shoulder. So by doing this, obviously what we're doing is working not only the muscles, but the joints are running through a range of motion there. So the synovial fluid in the joints is warming up and lubricating those rusty joints nicely. It all helps at the end of the day, in my opinion. I'm sure quite often people have got underneath an empty bar and it feels uncomfortable. The range of motion doesn't feel quite right. There's a tightness somewhere. And, 9 times out of 10, it's a simple muscle that just needs a little bit of work. You want to fire them up as well, get them activated, get them working. So everything works, in a nice sort of system, really. You find more often than not, if you neglect these little muscles, then they they cause you some problems later on. There's not many bench pressers out there that haven't said they've had a shoulder niggle or an injury at some point. Quite often that's because they don't bench correctly, or they aren't, using the correct warm-ups to look after those smaller muscles and joints. This really does help by opening up the shoulder. Face pulls previously, just to work those rear delts. So that's working the rear delts there and the upper areas of the trapezius. The rhomboids are coming into play a little bit there as well. But these are the muscles that are used as, like I said, stability on the bench. So when you've got that bar, over mid-chest, and you're looking to emphasize a bend in the bar and pull it down towards yourself, that's really where you want to be working those muscles. So just doing some behind the neck pull downs here, again, just to warm up the rear shoulders and the lats. And then I normally follow these with some sort of down and back, sort of pull back and out. So that kind of mimics the motion of the bar path coming down towards yourself by pulling those lats in nice and tight to fire back up with the bar. So hopefully these, if you could follow this routine sort of 2 to 3 times over the space of 10 minutes and get under an empty bar, it will feel so much better. Everything will just feel so much more fluid because the joints are nice and lubricated, the arms, the back, the chest, all warmed up. It will feel really, really good. Give it a try. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So I hope you like this video. I hope you get a chance to try this out. If you could like and subscribe, that would be amazing. And we will see you very, very shortly for a new video. Happy training.